Hi, this is Sean with Mortgage Audits Online, going over another securitization audit report here. This particular securitization audit report is a very comprehensive report sample. I will be going over the different aspects of this particular report and showing you what is called the loan tape. Okay, so moving right along here, this particular securitization report here, as you can see, similar to the other ones. And again, just for disclaimer purposes, my name is Sean and I am presenting this report. I am as a presenter and I am conducting this presentation for educational and entertainment purposes. Please keep in mind that there are variations to the report, and reports can look different depending on your bank, credit unions, other factors, okay? But this is actually a really good example of a really good report with more keyed-in information, with the CUSIP information and the CUSIP analysis that people like to see nowadays. So as you can see here, pretty standard in the first few pages, the transaction details, shows you the securitization participants, right? This one particular shows the mortgage, the note, shows the trust name here, acquisition date, closing dates. As you can see here, the particular borrower specific information. Obviously, this information, after I do the presentation, will be some of it will be blurred. But for privacy reasons, however, I will be going over some specifics here. Now, here on page 2 is a very interesting snippet. Now, this is one of the important reasons why you want to have a qualified team conducting your audit, okay? Because when you have an auditor like ours with, up to 20 years experience, and he has a keen eye, especially when he's looking at the prospectuses or the different documents relating to the trust, okay? So he takes snippets from the prospectus and the pooling and service agreements or different things that he already knows. It's kind of like going to, an experienced mechanic. They already know certain things about the high-end cars, right? They already know, as opposed to going and learning that for the next 10, 15 years, okay? And that's one of the reasons why our team is the best team in the industry, okay? Now, you can see the snippet that he put here. And it says here that the mortgage and the note have taken two distinctly different paths. The mortgage was never transferred. The balance lists the loan balance. Note may have been, however, pooled, sold, transferred with other loans and mortgages. And this pool of loans and mortgages and this security offering of this loan amount, and it says here, this web link can be found here. So he's saying here that the note and the mortgage have taken two distinct differently paths, okay, have been separated in a sense. Now, if you look up the case Glaske versus Bank of America, they ruled that the mortgage and the note have to be together at the time of foreclosure, okay? Keep that in mind. So these snippets here align with arguments and case law that help the consumer, help you as a consumer and as a homeowner. So as you can see here, snippets like this really do help strengthen the case, strengthen the audit report that helps align with the actual case of the client, okay? Here is just showing you the contract. Basically, this one was a particular government insured loans. There's different information here relating to the databases being searched. And then here it's showing you, the circular supplement here. Okay, it's, this is some big numbers, about $400 million, okay? That's $400 million of this particular securitization trust's value. There's a lot of loans in here. This is a very high number, okay? And basically, he puts these excerpts in here because it's showing you the offering terms, the certificates information, the offer classes. This is a REMIC class, okay? For those of you who don't know, the REMIC is a tax classification of a trust, okay? So the trust can get different big tax breaks, so they avoid double taxation, okay? And so here he's just giving you information relating to the different aspects of the trust, the excerpts of the information, okay? Categories of classes, interest, method of payment, okay, as you see here. And moving right along, here shows you the class factors, okay? Plan of distribution, residual proceeds, and these are all things that are brought up. These are all brought up in situations where people are negotiating, or maybe they're going back and forth with a lender, or there's some type of arbitration or mediation or just non-formal negotiations. These are things that can be brought up, right? So any information that the auditor sees fit that is going to build the case for the homeowner and help the homeowner This is the information that's going to be in the report. And our reports are the best in the industry because we have the best auditing team in the country. Okay. So all this information puts pressure on the other side to try to get the situation resolved, hopefully in a positive way for the consumer, because we're here for the consumer. We're here to help the consumer. Okay. Now, as you can see here, there are some information in red. And this particular file had an issue with the assignments. Okay, so the assignments were not properly filed by the bank or the trust. Okay, so that basically is saying in the auditing, again, this is going to be a technical analysis. But look, the idea is that if the assignments are not filed according to their own manuals, which we'll see later on in this particular sample, which I'll show you, basically, there's an issue of whether the foreclosure can be properly administered. So in order to do a foreclosure, there has to be proper assignments in certain cases. There has to be a proper procedure, obviously. Procedure is obviously has to be proper, right? And so in this particular case, the auditor went deeper and found that and actually brought that up from their own manuals, from the trust's own manual, the company, and he put that in the report. He said, look, according to their own manual, they have to file these documents, this, and this, and they did not file it. So in a sense, that opens up the argument against a foreclosure action or an enforcement action. So that gives the opening to the client and whatever they're trying to do. Again, the goal is to get a positive outcome for the client, okay? But that's how is that possible? Because you have to have sound arguments. You have to have a great audit report backed up by a great expert witness and a set of affidavits, okay? But really the meat of it's going to be in the report, okay? The report itself is the tool that puts pressure on the other side. So when the attorney on the bank side sees this, obviously that's going to put pressure on them. That's the theory, that's the idea. And with our company, you not only you get one report, you get multiple reports. Like our Diamond package has 5 separate reports counteracting the same mortgage and 2 expert witnesses. So this concept is called layering and overwhelming force, right? So the idea is to put all these reports in front of them, all of them, and they combine in an overall defense, right? It's kind of like, if you think about it, a battle strategy in a sense, right? When you're playing, chess or checkers, and it's like overwhelming force. It's so overwhelming that it's like, okay, put pressure on the other side to try to get the situation settled out in a positive outcome for the client. That's the idea. And so these arguments in the report, these excerpts and these very crucial information that the auditor is putting in the report, it's very important, okay? Securitization is an entire process, okay? Not only that, the assignments that are filed at the county, not only that, the contract, the manuals of the bank or the trust. There's a lot of things that goes into these reports, okay? Securitization auditing is all-encompassing. Securitization auditing, mortgage auditing, putting in the lending violations, TILA, RESPA, Regulation Z. And that's where our multi-layered approach comes in handy, okay? And we know what works. Our auditor has been in this industry, since almost the beginning of the refi boom, where actually this industry started to grow, okay? Because forensic auditing has been around since the 80s. However, our industry got more attention during the last refi boom at the tail end of it, when all those loans were coming due and things of that nature. However, the point being is that, securitization auditing is an all-encompassing, encompassing mortgage auditing and document review and looking at the assignments and checking like he did here. It's very important. So it's an entire process, an entire multiple set of reports, okay? And, I've heard many stories in many cases, and I'm happy to hear the stories from my clients and them getting happy. And the reason I'm telling you this, so as you look at this, you see this particular argument that he's putting here on the assignment, okay? Now, he's basically saying that the assignments they're not properly filed, okay? That's going to come in key later on. Now, here's the graph moving right along in the report. Basically, it shows you the path, and it's numbered 1, 2, 3. It shows you what happened there, okay? And there's different labels and arrows that show you what happened, okay? And moving along here. And basically this here again is just a more detailed breakdown of what happened. It's showing you other things like the custodian, the servicer. It gives you in step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 of what happened. Again, these are very important points, and it has it in a visual way, so you can see it in a visual way. And of course, if this ever ends up in court or in a legal capacity, you can show them this graph, right, to the legal parties, and it helps obviously for them to understand what's going on, especially if you're in litigation. Okay. And here we're looking at the prospectus supplement. And this was interesting because actually the borrower's CUSIP was keyed in here by the auditor, the borrower's CUSIP of this particular trust. And it's right here, as you can see, group 1. And as you can see, it's right there, group 1, and it's mentioned right there. Okay, so there's additional proof that the accuracy is there, that the proof is there, that this loan is in this trust. Obviously, each file can be different. Okay, however, in this particular one, you see how deep we've gone to show the proof and show the accuracy. Okay, and this is very time consuming. This takes a lot of work, and so this is something that you have to understand takes time and research to complete. And as you can see here, it's just going through here with the term sheet. This is a term sheet here. Okay, it's containing information about the series. Okay. And here it's giving information about the foreclosure, or if there was a foreclosure filed, what would happen. And basically it's saying here that there was no assignment of mortgage filed. And it's saying this document, the assignment of mortgage, okay, this document must be filed and recorded before a proper foreclosure can proceed. So if this client is in foreclosure, okay, this right here is going to be an important, very important, crucial argument against the foreclosure. Okay, especially as you see later on in the video. And we'll move right along here. And then this basically is the report summary. Okay, and again, just showing you the mortgage information, the securitization of the note. And again, it's basically reiterating that there is no assignment of mortgage, which is an important argument. Okay, if this ends up in court or there's a foreclosure or something along that nature. Now, if you're not in foreclosure, that's okay as well. And then it just becomes an enforcement argument. Well, who can enforce the note? Who can enforce the loan? Who actually owns the loan, right? So that's another way that the report is using those arguments as well. Foreclosure, not foreclosure, it's okay. It's still recommended to get a report so you can see what's going on with your particular loan, okay? This here, the auditor went much deeper, and he put in here the analysis of the execution of the legal documents. Okay, basically saying like, look, these particular documents, disclosure, satisfactions, releases, assignments, have to be sent here according to their own procedures. Okay, so this can be constituted as some type of procedure error. Okay, and he's putting that in there so they can see. And this is very crucial because if they see this, they're going to say, okay, they have a major or a minor procedural error on their end. Okay, so this is obviously something, if this ends up in negotiation back and forth or in the litigation or arbitration mediation, this is going to be an important aspect. Well, look, the bank or this financial company did not follow proper procedure. They did not even submit the proper documentation to their own legal address. So in fact, it's an internal procedural error on their end. So see how deep the auditor has gone? And that's what he does. He is one of the best auditors, and we have the best auditing team in the country. And these are the things that I'm talking about. These are the things that you don't see any other company do. Okay, any other company out there, and this is one of the things that differentiates us from everybody else. This, how deep we go, and also the multi-report approach, because I decided that I wasn't going to give just one report to the client. I'm going to give multiple reports to overwhelm the other side and to corner them into getting the situation resolved for the consumer. See, that's the way we innovated in the industry, and that's our approach. And it's all consumer centric. Everything we do is for the benefit of the consumer. And so moving along here, and again, he's going further in here, and he actually found the manual, his own knowledge. Of course, you're talking about a very vast experience that he has. Okay, this is an issue of a substitution of trustee not being properly executed, and he puts it right here, and he puts the excerpt from their own manual. Okay, this is their own manual, the financial company's own manual. Okay, and he's showing you right here. Okay, and he highlights it: execution, substitution of trustee as necessary, according to the procedures. Okay, and he even puts a link in there to their manual if you ever want to click it and download the entire manual, okay, as evidence. Okay, So this is what I'm talking about. This is how deep he goes. This is how deep the company goes. This is why our reports are so crucial and why we have, the successes that we've heard from our clients, okay? And so again, reiterating the securitization audit report, it has many parts to it. It's not just, okay, separation of note and a deed, QSIP, and what's going on with my loan. It's much more than that. It's manuals. It's looking at their manuals, their own manuals, and finding the errors that they have committed according to their own manuals. Think about it, their own procedural manual, and they violated their own procedures. Think about if somebody brings that up in a court case, just think about the result. Think about what is the judge going to say? Okay, so these are very important aspects to a report. A securitization audit report encompassing all these additional add-ons in the report, all these additional bonus things that he puts in there. And that's why he's the best, among the best auditors in the country. And here is supporting, he likes to put the auditing, the auditor likes to put things in there relating to articles or things like that relating to certain things. And this one's going over robo signing, with the whole robo signing scandal with the banks. Okay. And that's one thing about other things about our companies, the research that we put into it. And this all goes into the report. Okay. And then here we're going into the screenshots in the terminal section. This gives you a little brief summary and the screenshots as follows. Okay. So these are the screenshots. You can pause the video depending on where you're watching it and look through these. It's obviously going to show you the QSIT number. It's going to show you the balance. Okay. It's going to show you different aspects of, who the servicer of, the lead manager, the trustee. These are all really important back-end information, especially if you're doing research, especially if you're doing your own research and trying to find out what's going on with your loan or your lender on the back end. This is important as well, okay? Because this connects to the trust and what's going on with the financial companies connected on the back end, okay? So these are screenshots. It shows you different aspects of the trust. This is an interesting screenshot because this one shows you the original balance of this particular securitization trust was $65 million. Okay. Now the current balance of this date is down to $5 million, close to 6 million, 5.7. So that means that this trust balance has gone down $60 million. So that could be an indication of something. That's another important, crucial piece of information. See, that's another reason why the report is important. You have this crucial piece of information. So if a person is litigating this or a person is going back and forth with this particular trust with this bank, this can be brought up because there's an issue going on with this trust. They're down $60 million, okay? That could be beneficial to the homeowner, especially, if they're using this in some capacity to negotiate, okay? So just keep that in mind. Those are other little tidbits of why a securitization report is so important. And these are things that, you can see with our reports and with our information and research. Here, just going down to some of the screenshots. These are technical information, okay? Again, just technical information. The interesting about this particular report is that typically these trusts are required to some capacity to have the original servicer, seller, insurer. You see all these blank boxes here. It's supposed to be filled with the financial companies that are working or that are connected to this particular trust, okay? Now, these are blank in this particular trust. So that means that the data according here is actually this particular company is missing some crucial aspects to the compliance to these parties that they have, these financial companies that they have to have. They have to have a paying agent. I mean, asset manager, very important, and they don't have that. They don't even have an insurer. So again, this is another reason why the reports are important because it's showing you this in a visual. Okay, this can be brought up in a negotiation. And look, something's wrong with this trust. They're down $60 million. And where are all the other departments? Where are all the other companies that are supposed to be listed here? So that's another thing. So again, the report gives you that extra, aspects that you need to put pressure on them to try to get the situation resolved. Okay, again, just technical information. Moving along here, this is the yield table. Okay, this is a trading lingo. This is the view all loan classes, and it actually keys in on the particular loan class related to the trust. Okay. This particular trust has 31 different classes. Okay. And then there's a bonus here that shows that the particular securitization trust is still being actively traded. So that will show you that, okay, this is actually actively still being traded. Okay. So that's another important aspect of the report as well. Okay. So obviously you want to know if they're still being traded, right? So the bond, the security is actively still being traded. Okay. And then just some more technical screenshots here. And basically, he has more excerpts in here that help, the particular situation, that the more analysis here, okay? This is relating to the securitization and the pooling and things of that nature. And, then he gives you a summary at the end here, okay? Um, and basically here again, he's reiterating that the assignment issue and how, the documents, should be properly notarized and things of that nature, okay? And he's even putting in here the UCC code of that state, mentioning it in there as well, which is very, very important. So yeah, that's a particular example of one particular securitization audit report, okay? I thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please give us a call or email us or set up a call with our scheduler. I recommend watching some of the other presentations on this page as well. Keep in mind, the reports are very comprehensive. The reports are very important to any situation relating to a mortgage, an auto, a credit. We do mortgage audits. We also do auto loans. We also do credit cards. We also do business loans. Pretty much any type of loan we can audit, okay? But I thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.